You ever come home after years away and feel like the whole world's moved on without you, only to realize in one gut punch moment just how far things have gone? That was me 5 years back, rolling into suburban Chicago after my last deployment. I'd spent months picturing the same little lot on Maple Street I'd bought for my dream workshop, already seeing in my mind the walls, the tools, my boys helping me build something that'd outlast us both. But let me tell you, nothing, and I mean nothing, prepares you for coming home and seeing your whole future paved over by a bunch of luxury cars, locked behind some brand new electric gate, and a giant sign shouting Willowbrook HOA premium parking. $75 a month on my land. Yeah, you heard me right. I slammed on the brakes so hard I wore half my coffee. 60 shiny cars packed in, making somebody thousands a month off what was supposed to be my second chance. When I marched into the office trailer, that's when I met Stephanie Blackwood, the queen bee herself, barely looking up from her little kingdom of cash. I show her my deed, thinking, surely this is just a mix-up. She just laughs. Sweetie, this is community property. Take it up with our lawyers. You ever get laughed at in your own home? That hits different. Now look, I'm not the type to go picking fights with HOAs for sport, but I wasn't about to let this trust fund princess dismiss me, a guy who'd spent his whole career making sure water ran clean while she made bank off my sweat. So, if you've ever butted heads with an HOA, drop your city in the comments, seriously. You're going to want to hear this. Because what happened next, let's just say, I put my engineering degree and a remote valve to work and turned the tables in a way Stephanie and the whole town never saw coming. Name's Danny Kowalski. This is what really happened. Back in 2018, life was all right. I had a plumbing business going, commercial hydraulics, nothing fancy, but honest work. I'd even managed to stay on decent terms with my ex, Sarah, after the divorce. We had 2 boys, Jake and Tommy, teenagers but still hanging out with their old man. Miracle in itself. That quarter-acre lot on Maple, picked it up for $38,000, dreaming of a proper workshop. A place for lifts, welding for the boys to learn something that wasn't TikTok or video games. But life throws curveballs. One day, I get a call from a military contractor. 5 years overseas, triple pay, all expenses paid, money enough to build that dream right. Sarah and I agreed boys would stay with her. I'd call home, send money, and come back ready to make it all up to them. I stood there that last cold morning in 2019, coffee turning to mud in my hands, staring at bare dirt, already seeing that shop in my head. Over there in Eastern Europe, work was brutal, pipes, pumps, language barriers. But when you're fixing leaks, everybody speaks the same language, you know? Every few months, I'd pull up Google Earth, checking on my lot. Still empty, still mine, or so I thought. The boys would joke, texting pictures about the future shop getting overtaken by weeds. I thought we'd just pick up where we left off. I had no idea what was brewing back home. See, Willowbrook's HOA was run by Stephanie. Daddy's money, white Lexus, and the kind of smile that makes you check your wallet. She got bored, looked at my empty lot, and saw dollar signs. She started telling folks my land was abandoned. Improvements would benefit everyone. Next thing you know, they built a 60-space luxury parking lot, complete with gates, security, and monthly billing, all on my property. 5 years passed. I came home expecting weeds, maybe some kids' bike tracks. Instead, I find Stephanie's empire in full swing. Cars everywhere, signs, her little office. The worst part? She's making $4,000 a month off my dirt. I just sat there in my rental car, staring. You ever walk into a room that's supposed to be yours and realize you're the stranger? That's what it felt like. I did what anyone would do. Walked the lot, counted the luxury sedans, the Teslas. Saw Stephanie in her glass box, feet up, nails tapping her phone, acting like the queen of Maple Street. I knocked. She looked up, bored, already annoyed. "Help you," she said. I introduced myself, told her this was my land. She laughed, really laughed like I'd claimed to own the moon. "Sweetie, this is HOA property. We improved it for the community. Everything's legal. Then she pointed to some fake deed and told me to get lost. Reasoning with folks like her is like trying to fix a leak in a pipe that's never seen water. I tried, though, called the office, left messages, even went to a board meeting. By the time I walked in, she'd stacked the board against me, 5 people staring like I was a criminal. She slid a stack of legal papers at me. Looked official, but a closer look? Adverse possession claims that made no sense, signatures you could tell were practiced in the garage. Overseas, I'd learned something. Don't blow up, get smart. I told her, I'll have my attorney review these. She smirked. Figure she'd won. That's when I called Jim Rodriguez, old friend, surveyor. Jim, I need property lines down to the inch. Next morning, he calls, laughing. Danny, they built 15 feet on her own land. Her rose gardens sitting on a public easement. Armed with real documents, I go see Stephanie again. She's all attitude until I show her where she paved her own roses. That's a public easement. No one's allowed to build on it. For once, she looks rattled. Still, she kicks me out. 3 days later, I get knock. 2 cops, looking official but half asleep. Mr. Kowalski, you've got a restraining order. Stay 50 feet away from the parking lot. Stephanie claimed I was harassing her, threatening the community. I try to explain my deed, my survey of my land. Cop just shrugged. Civil matters, sir. This is criminal. That's how fast you can lose access to your own property. A piece of paper and a lie. But here's the thing, systems have rules. And if you know those rules, you can turn the game around. I dug through decades of county records. Found the gold mine, an old utility easement, never revoked. The parking lot blocked it. The electric company had been paying Stephanie's HOA thousands to access their line some other way. I called them up, Carol, the facilities manager. Mr. Kowalski, we've been trying to fix this for years. Now I had leverage. Meanwhile, Stephanie called a special meeting, whipped up the neighborhood, told them I was trying to steal community property. Push a vote for a $3,000 legal defense fee. $3,000 out of the pockets of folks living on Social Security. That hit me. I wasn't just fighting for myself anymore. So I changed tactics. Went door to door, offered free plumbing help, checked heaters, crawled under houses. People started talking, wondering where all those parking fees really went. Funny thing, when you help folks, they help you back. Word spread. Turns out, nobody really liked Stephanie. They just felt powerless. One Sunday, old Mr. Peterson mentions how his electric bill skyrocketed after the lot went in. I call Carol again. Sure enough, Stephanie's running commercial power off a residential meter. Another violation. By now, everything was coming undone for Stephanie. Bad drainage, fake permits, fraudulent tax documents, money siphoned into a shell company with her name on it. Channel 7's reporter, Mrs. Vanessa's granddaughter, catches wind and starts digging. Then, the final move, the drainage system. My buddy Pavel, the genius from Bulgaria, designs a remote control valve. If Stephanie wants to play games, well, I'll just use my rights as the property owner. We time it for the HOA's big 4th of July barbecue, her big moment. Code enforcement, the news, half the county shows up. And just as Stephanie grabs the mic to crow about her community improvements, I step in, hold up my deed for the cameras, nod to Pavel, flip the switch. You ever see 60 luxury cars trapped in a sea of brown water while their owners scramble to keep their shoes dry? You have thought the world was ending. Stephanie screaming, the news filming, water rising. I looked her dead in the eye and told everyone, this is my land. You've been lied to. You've been paying for a Lexus, not your community. The aftermath? Well, karma moves quick when it has an audience. Stephanie's arrested. Embezzlement, fraud, the whole 9 yards. Her family trust pays out every penny. The community gets real board members. Fees drop. And my old dream? That lot's now the Willowbrook Veterans Workshop. A place where guys like me and their families can actually build something together. My boys, Jake and Tommy, they finally came down, saw what we built. I never thought fixing a pipe could turn to fixing a whole neighborhood. I used to think the system was rigged against regular folks. Maybe sometimes it is. But every grifter leaves a trail. Every bully slips up. The secret? Don't fight alone. Know your rights. Help your neighbors. And never be afraid to call in help when someone's stealing what's yours. So, let me ask you, where do you draw the line? When does standing up to power become your duty, not just your right? Drop your wildest HOA story below, or tell me, what would you have done if you were me? Because sometimes the best justice is just making sure the truth comes out, no matter how many luxury cars you have to wade through to get there.